Steve, good evening, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen.
My goodness.
Where do I even begin? Where do I even... March Madness has started, whether you wanted to or not. Mayhem is amongst us. I can't wait. Welcome back, Steve and Chad. We have an improv going live on Sunday because there's just too much juice out there right now that we could not pass up on. Steve, how was your weekend, by the way?
Well, if I could remember it, I would tell you about it. But yeah, there may be some pieces that don't all go together. So it was okay.
Steve went away for a little hockey, little boys trip.
My
Can't
goodness.
remember it. That's where we're gonna leave it at. That's what you're gonna leave us on?
Well, look, I hugged a tree.
Okay.
I got left by my friends.
Okay.
I used resources in order to find my way back to various places that we stayed.
Okay.
And then, hold on, the best part is,
okay,
I was literally across the street from the house that we were staying in.
Okay, easy find.
So, couldn't identify it. This not working. This is not going. So
you couldn't find the house.
Right across the street from it, and so I decided, it's better to walk 4 miles to a hotel. So
you had a perfectly Airbnb ready for your being, your clothes, everything was there, ready for your taking, ready for you to be snuggled up inside of it, but your intoxication level, give or take, was a little bit off the realms, and you couldn't find it. I'm just making sure I'm understanding. A little scene to recap here. You couldn't find the building that you were staying at. Is that right? So I have all the pieces together. So you decided you were coherent enough to book a hotel room 4 miles down the road and go stay in. Is that correct?
Yes. So I'm actually surprised that the proprietor of the hotel allowed me to even stay there because when I had to explain why I needed a room. Oh
my goodness.
Yeah. So
unbelievable.
It's been a long weekend. Needless to say, I took one nap. I got you blowing up my phone. The entire sports world has gone
exploding.
Bananas.
So I'm going to correlate this to one thing and one thing only. Something that I have been preaching about for as long as I could walk. Okay, and that is today. I'm sure everyone realized when they woke up they felt a little more groggier, right? A little like they had been losing some sleep. And that's because we sprang forward. Okay, that means it doesn't get dark till 9 o'clock, ladies and gentlemen. It's the greatest time of year. Okay, I live for springing forward. This is my favorite. It's literally what gives me life. All right. When we shut it down, I don't get as much vitamin D. I get depressed. I get angry. I get frustrated. Okay. And for us to think that us springing forward isn't the reason for this greatness, you're mistaken. Okay. Because the entire world goes into a complete dungeon state when we fall backwards. You saw here, the players was perfect today. The weather was prime time. The last 2 days, it was dog shit. What was the reason? We were still falling backwards. Today, it was perfect. There was a hole-in-one today. NASCAR had a beautiful day. We had Selection Sunday today. We had Championship Sundays for basketball tournaments today. Mike White left Florida today. And Tom fucking Brady is back at it again, baby. I'm not saying it's a coincidence, but it's time, baby. Woo!
Bring it back, baby. Let's go. Go time. Tom Brady is back in the NFL. My goodness, it's almost like
money don't make money,
Nothing to do with it, but I don't care.
3 months ago.
I don't care. Joe says...
I'm so happy right now. I can't wait.
I love it. Joe says Kyle Trask is going to have to wait till 2023. Listen, I don't think anybody's mad about it. We're down to wait. I'm willing to wait for 2023. Let's talk about Mike White first. Mike White is gone. Mike White... Selection Sunday happens, and I was kind of waiting. So I'm watching Selection Sunday, right, playing cards with the wife. I had it in the ear because I knew, like, obviously Florida wasn't going to be in it, but I was like, look, it's Spring Forward Sunday. Anything can happen. So I'm thinking maybe we get a little luck. Maybe we get some juices flowing. Florida finds, like, some kind of weird way to get in, right? Obviously, I'm just completely shooting from the hip here. But I also had a feeling, like, look, if once it's confirmed that we don't make it, I feel like some news is going to come out that Mike White's not going to be there anymore, right? Or he's going to leave. So the Selection Sunday comes out. To be honest, I got to give credit when credit's due. I found out from my grandpa. He called me to clarify. Yeah, he called me. He goes, "Hey man," he goes, "Did I just read that Mike White left for Georgia?" And I go, "No." I was like, there was talks about him going to Ole Miss, but not Georgia. He goes, I could have swore I just saw it. I go, hold on, Grandpa. Don't want speaker. Sure enough, Mike White leaves for Georgia. Now,
it's Grandpa. Like you think, Grandpa, come on, get off the.
He's dialed in.
Yeah, he's on.
He was ready.
Let's be honest. I mean, you're thinking Grandpa's over here, like maybe he missed his meds today.
No, he was even like admitted. He was like, he's like, am I crazy? Like, am I missing something here? And I go, let me look. Let's figure it out. He goes, and I was like, yeah, you're right. And then he was so kind of like, are you sure? I'm like, yeah, I'm freaking out too. So
Gosh, the guy should have a podcast.
For real, right? I mean, he's obviously more in tune with this thing than we are. So this leads me. This is interesting. This is kind of fun to talk about. So obviously, I know Gator fans are excited that this is happening. We've been talking about it. We've made many videos, many conversations. Should he be fired? I think our videos were heard. I think Mike White watched our videos and felt the smoke was coming and said, "It's time for me to get up out of here." I don't know the details yet. Did he feel the heat? Is that why he left? Him leaving, I get it if I'm in his shoes, right? You can kind of feel the writing on the wall. I'm sure you're definitely hearing all the noise. But you go to a 1-7 basketball team, to a school that is not at a basketball team whatsoever, not even close to it. Honestly, to me, if I'm a Florida fan, it's a little nerve-wracking because we've been preaching for this and praying for this for Mike White to leave. But now I'm sitting here like, well, now who?
Yeah.
Now what?
I can see that. If I'm a Florida fan, I'm thinking, okay, so one, we sat here for week after week after week, and we said, is the guy the right guy?
Sure.
And we've had plenty of comments that said, we want this guy out, we want this guy out of here, like da 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 da. But that being said, like now you're talking about like you're talking about going into the tournament. All you did was get your seed or not, and then this guy is like, I'm done. So everything that we have been talking about, even the fans, we were kind of right. We were on pace here. This guy he felt it too, and if we were talking about it, I'm sure the administration was talking about it. The concern for Florida and the coaching system that they have there is, my gosh, like what's out there.
So Joe's saying first time I can recall UF hiring a new football and basketball coach in the same year, and I couldn't agree more. Now here's my thing. It's weird, right? It's kind of like a breakup thing, right? When you break up with a girl, right, you feel good, right? Especially if you're thinking about it and you talk about it and you break up with her, you feel like, all right, cool, I'm happy with it. But if you're thinking about breaking up with a girl and she breaks up with you, then you're kind of pissed about it. Right? Even though you wanted it to happen, you're like, what the fuck? Why did you dump? I was going to dump. Hold up.
It's on my terms.
Yeah, well, hold on. Why are you leaving me? Am I the problem? What? Who said, hold up, right? It changes shit. And that's how I feel right now is he broke up with us. And I was like, whoa, that was never discussed. All right, Mike, no, we were good. You were the problem.
We were leaving you. Well, you weren't leaving us.
You weren't supposed to leave on good terms. Yeah, and go down the street, all right, to the somewhat cute girl that has potential, all right? That was never a part of the plan. Because now I'm kind of jealous, right? Georgia, who was just going to complete and sue this year, like obviously dog shit, right? They didn't have a pot to piss in. They look ready to rock and roll for next year. Got a new coach. Look, guys, I know we all hated Mike White, but he wasn't no slouch. He doesn't know what he's not. He's not a complete buffoon. Right? And now he's going to take all of his recruits that were coming to Florida, which was a great recruiting class, to Georgia. So as a Florida fan, I'm a little nervous.
It's not like Georgia doesn't have money. They have SEC money.
Yes.
It's not even the fact that he went from one school, like he left out of nowhere, but then he went down the road. It's like, okay, so to your analogy, your girlfriend left you before you could break up with her to date the guy at the cul-de-sac.
Yeah. Yeah.
Where in the hell is this ever okay?
And everyone's saying we can do better than Mike White. I'm not disagreeing with you. It just I'm a little stunned. I'm a little upset about it. All right? I don't like the way that it went down. We were supposed to be in charge here. All right. And look, we're sitting here now, and I wouldn't be surprised in a few years we're kicking ourselves because Georgia comes in and not becomes a powerhouse, but they become competitive. Vanderbilt has done that over the last year. And I think, to me, it's kind of a little bit of a pansy move for Mike White, right? Because you're a mediocre coach. You left when it was hot, and you went to a school that has been complete trash over the however long. But it's also a sign to show where Georgia's heading. Look what they do. I mean, look what they're doing. They're winning games. They're making more money. I mean, their football team's obviously where it is. So if Georgia's thinking, hey, Mike White's going to be the guy that turns this thing around, that's my thing. Is like, well, shit. Are we missing something? Were we not seeing something?
I mean, it's possible, but I mean, look, Georgia's never really spent a lot of time investing in their basketball program.
Sure,
they've had a couple of 5-star guys who came through, but look, I mean, it's just a very weird transactional situation that just happened here. I'm almost surprised that contractually that Mike White is able to like drop the bomb and then go to an in-conference school. I'm surprised that there's no like contractual like barricade to that. It just seems odd.
No buyout, and Georgia has to pay UF $1.25 million. Joe just said, and Muddy saying, and I did see this, that Florida gave Georgia permission to talk to Mike White. So when I read that too, it made me think about that what the situation that you and I spoke about with the college kids, where they would come out and say, "Hey, I'm decommitting." Right? It was the schools giving those kids the opportunity to decommit, so it wasn't as embarrassing. And so I thought of that. I was like, maybe UF was kind of like, "Hey, we're not. If you can walk out of here kind of on your, with your head held high." Let's do that because you've done a good job. I don't feel like you completely have destroyed the program. So, look, if somebody's going to offer you a job, I recommend you taking it. Maybe it was one of those things, right? I could definitely see that, which if I'm Mike White, I'd be extremely thankful because he took that shit quick, bro. Like, you were just coaching like 2 days ago, dude.
Right. Yeah, you coached a basketball game 3 days ago. Your feet aren't even like warm from being back in Gainesville. Look, that may be the thing, right? I think it was a mutual agreement. Florida already told him that we're done, so freedom to go anywhere you want.
I'm excited to see who we go after, though. Again, so there's a big thing that we talk about at work is sometimes it's not always green on the other side, right? We're frustrated with what we have, but sometimes what's out there is scarier than what's in house. At least when it's here, we know what we have. We don't know what we have when it's out there. So. Again, we've been preaching it. We've been talking about it. It's so much easier when it's dark to just say it's shit and to move on. But at the same time, again, you don't know what you're gonna get yourself into. So it's exciting. I'm happy for it. It's a good refresh. It's a good restart, especially with Billy Napier. Hey, look, Florida's turning over a new leaf, and I'm thinking this is the last kind of puzzle piece to that flip. So I'm excited about it. I'm mad that we got dumped. But it is what it is.
Like, I mean, look, you got dumped because you said ahead of time, I don't think this is working out. So you got dumped per se, but
sure.
That was just because Georgia was the first person willing to lay down and take the next one.
Maybe that's maturing, right? Is when you make it to seem where like you kind of tell the girl, hey, this isn't going to work out. So she breaks up with you before you have to break up with her. And it's a win-win because she gets to walk away with her held high, and you don't have to break the girl's heart, and now everybody wins. And that's, I think, how I have to look at it is, it's win-win.
Sure. Hey, just because he changed his Facebook status to it's complicated first before Florida did, doesn't mean that Florida wasn't already at it's complicated.
Muddy saying who are top candidates, bro. What I would give for old Billy D to come back. What I would give. He's saying the head coach from Michigan, who was the head coach from Michigan from 3 years ago, who's an assistant with the Pistons now, 5 Elite Eight appearances. Look, I don't know. I think there's a lot of options. I think maybe we try to go north, and by that I mean go to the NBA. Maybe find some help up there. You know what I mean? Get a little more. Look, I think things are changing. I think a reason why Coach K is leaving because of we've talked about this too with Nick Saban retiring. Honestly we weren't. I'm mad we didn't do a what if Coach K retires. Right? We were on the football train with Nick Saban, but I think our argument for Nick Saban was a reason Coach K retired was I think he's gonna have a hard time managing the portal now and all these kids where they're going and the rules and how easy it is for them just to kind of come and go and then obviously go overseas now. It just recruiting isn't what it used to be, and I think that's where Coach K thrived. And these older coaches that have dominated for so long, I think they're going to find themselves in a rut where they're not going to be able to figure that out. And if you notice this year, dude, this is the first year in a long time, and I feel like I say this every year, but I really mean it this year, is there isn't a dominant school. I feel like anybody can win. I mean, Texas A&M and Tennessee were just in the SEC championship. Arkansas didn't make it, Auburn didn't make it, and Kentucky didn't make it. Those were the heavy hitters. Texas A&M was an 8th seed, and they bull rushed everybody. And Kentucky wasn't even there. Crazy. Tennessee was good. So it's just, I don't know. We're in a weird time, I think, with just the coaching industry and in general on all platforms for college. It's going to be interesting to see.
Well, basketball by itself has always been a very transactional situation. Because they're not required to go into a draft. They only can play like 1 year in college, and then
one and
they
done.
can go straight to the play. Right. So I mean, what the football side of college is going through right now is basically what the basketball side has been dealing with for the last 15 years, 10 years.
Sure.
I mean, like, they get these guys for 1 year, they're in, they're out, they're done. But even to your point, it feels like it's becoming more and more and more transactional to, like, Coach K was done. Like, no, don't get me wrong. The guy had spent an amazing career.
But he's not that old. It's not like I don't feel like he was at the end of his career kind of thing. But also too, it's like, when do you leave, right? I mean, when's the right time to leave?
I think it's just a weird transition for the older coaches to come into the newer realm of how things are. Now, Napier, he's doing amazing, and then, like, Saban, probably going to struggle with it. Mike K, probably going to struggle with it.
Saban's not going to struggle.
No, well, sort of. I think he's past it, but that's age by itself. Either way, it was out of nowhere. The Mike White thing. I mean, we've been going back and forth on this channel for a while on whether or not he was the right fit.
It wasn't a matter of if, it was a matter of when. And again, I just kind of felt a little hurt. My buddy says we can sell FSU's head coach because Florida has money, unlike FSU. I don't know if I want that guy either. You guys haven't been doing that well either.
1 year, we missed a tournament in 1 year. We went to the Sweet 16 in the 8. Yeah,
we're gonna get into March Madness in a minute, but let's get into the best news of the evening. Tom Brady is back at it again. He comes out. He goes, "I can't. I'm taking 2 months off. I can't see myself not on the football field. Daddy's back. I'm playing in Tampa." Unfinished business, LFG, let's fucking go. And let's fucking go. Yes, sir. I am beyond stoked. Bro, to be honest with you, Tom Brady, I don't know why he doesn't call us. At this point, we should change our name from High Top Sports to the Adam Schaffer Breaking News, because we called the retirement 2 months before. We called the unretirement 2 months before. We have been ahead of this since the beginning. Look, we've been wrong too. We're not going to say that either, but it's been rare. Okay? With this Tom thing, we are
Sons in 4.
Hey, Sons in 4. We are dialed in when it comes to Tom. All right, I'm beyond stoked. I want to know what made him come back. Right now, Vegas is in complete mayhem because they have to rechange all of their bets, all of the odds. It's a complete new sweep. So it's also interesting to see what people made bets on because they were able to buy in before Tom. This is a huge variable that's going to change everything.
Look, it didn't feel like Tom ever retired. I mean, if we go back and we look at it, the news came out and it was almost like a sneak that Schefter put out there that all of a sudden Brady retires. If you're talking about the greatest quarterback of all time, which I believe in my history of watching football, he is the GOAT. That's not the send-off. That what happened this year was not the send-off.
Not the way you go.
Greatest quarterback of our time. Yeah, that's not how it goes out. So I never felt like he was completely out of the NFL. It just felt weird.
So listen how much this is going to hurt. Football fan 28 just said don't forget Brady's last touchdown just sold an auction yesterday for over $500,000. So that sold for $500,000 because it was Tom Brady's last touchdown. Oops.
Well, it's a good thing you got your money now. Because whoever's now holding the item, they're pissed. They're pissed.
Well, no. So does it have more value now? Does it have more value because now it's the loophole year, right? It's the fake send-off ball. I mean, I'm obviously making this stuff up, but it's gonna look. Its value is seen from the beholder. So if they see that, hey, this is gonna have more value now because it was his fake retirement. It all depends on how this year goes, but that guy is probably punching air right now. I mean, it's Tom Brady football, but that hurts.
That stings a little. I'm not sure if anybody's aware of this, but Nathan McKinnon just scored.
Yeah, so I did see that. See that. We've got there's no name here. I don't know if this is their name. I think this is their name. I don't know. It just says Trask greater than Tom. There's no name. If that's their YouTube name, I'm a full fan. I will subscribe to that channel because that is incredible. There's no name there. Like that isn't in place of where the name should be. I don't know what's going on here. Gronk just said he's coming back, which we talked about that as well. I think they have to work on. So we talked about getting what's his name? I always draw blanks on these shows. Who was the Chris Godwin? We talked about him going to Jacksonville. Now does he come back? Right? Is he going to be more likely to come back to Tampa because Tom's there? That's going to be interesting to see. It's going to be a wild one to see. Joe said I really wanted to see Trask.
If they could re-recruit Antonio, now I'm impressed.
No. Joe said he wanted to see Trask's career get started this year. Maybe Tampa will trade him. I don't disagree, but I also think it's great for him to have another year behind Tom. I really do. As much as we wanted to see Trask get going, one more year is not going to hurt him. Look what it did for Jimmy. I think it paid dividends for him. So I hope they don't trade him. I don't think Tom's going to have that much more time, but who knows? I don't know. This is weird, man. It's weird how he retired. It's weird how he's coming back. I almost feel like I don't know. I need more. Muddy said Cobbin got tagged. Muddy, we got to get Muddy on the payroll. This guy's dialed in. All right, good. I was wondering what was going to happen with him. So they gave him the tag. So he's coming back. So look, maybe that's. I want to know what sparked this decision, right? What sparked the initial decision? And there's no way in 2 months you just woke up today. Again, we sprang forward, so maybe he just felt better because he had a longer sunlight. That could possibly be that could be it.
It's possible. It's look. It could be anything. I mean, the sunny days in Tampa versus the winter of New England. I don't think anybody is surprised by this. I mean, it caught us off guard because nobody thought it was going to happen right now. But it's
a little
just
soon.
now the end. Well, it's just now the end of free agency, right? Rodgers just recommitted. Now you have Brady recommitting, coming out of nowhere. But I mean, if you're Garoppolo, you're in deep shit. You're running out of spots.
Yeah.
So maybe Indianapolis all of a sudden.
I mean, Jimmy's still in. He still has his role in 49ers. But look, maybe this was a chess move, right? Maybe Tom took a step out, which made other teams act differently, right? Maybe he wanted to see, like, he wanted to force a hand. Maybe he wanted to force Packers to pay Aaron. Because if Tom stays, do the Packers stick with Aaron? I don't know, right? Maybe Tom's playing chess and we're over here just playing checkers. He's like, hey, if I act like I'm pulling out, maybe they'll go like, all right, cool. The threat's gone, right? In the NFC now with Tom. So hey, Aaron's like, I'll stay, right? I won't go over to Denver in the AFC. I don't know, right? I'm thinking here. So now he signs. They trade for Russell, right? I mean, Seahawks weren't really anything last year, and now Tom's like, all right, I'm back. I see how the cards fell. Feeling pretty good. The Panthers are talking about trading Christian McCaffrey, which would weaken that team a little bit. I mean, right now around that division is weak. There's nothing going on right now, and nobody landed in New Orleans. Maybe that what he was waiting on. I don't know. I'm guessing here, right? But what are we working with?
Look, I mean, TB12 has always been a player's guy. Like he's of course he's always been like a franchise guy. He's bought into the franchise. but he's really always been kind of an ambassador for the players. And look, he like it's a weird timing push where Russell's traded, Roger stays, and all of a sudden, out of nowhere, he comes back. You're right. There is still nobody in New Orleans, but now McCaffrey's potentially on the block. It seems a little bit like these agents and the players themselves.
Bro, I made it.
They talk offline, and they because look, if you're a players guy and you're always here to be an ambassador for these guys, you know how to leverage your own market. And it feels weird. Like it Rodgers stayed, Russell's traded, TV's back in what, 3-4 days? It's
Craziness.
all happened in 3 or 4 days.
Craziness.
This isn't somewhat coordinated. Like, I'm not trying to piece together the theory called fusion. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that there's some kind of collusion here.
Sure.
But it would be silly of us to think that there's only 32 starting quarterbacks, and you don't think that they ever have a conversation offline in order to help one another out when it comes to contract negotiations, to trades, to just different things to leverage one another. It's a very, very, very small commodity.
Sure.
And every NFL team needs it. So if you put your value there and then you start to use one another to maybe, like you said, play chess instead of checkers, I don't think that's outside like the realm of possibility here. It just, again, with the timing of things, it just looks like
there's some collusion going on.
Things went the quarterback's way.
Sure. Muddy says, wonder if Brady got into a bad fight with his wife and was like, I'll show you. I hope not. I love those too. Muddy brings up a good point. We actually, dude, it's crazy. I had a whole send-off video for Tom where, like, it was emotional. I cried during it, right? Like to me, I thought my childhood was over. Tom said, hold my beer. Right, but he says, look, he feels bad for Jordan Love, Kyle Trask, these new guys, that new wave that we were talking about. You're going to have to wait one more year, big dogs. Gotta wait one more to eat. And also, too, the new guys, the new wave we talked about, right? The Josh Allens of the world, the Joe Burrows, the Mahomes, the Herberts. They still got to go through these big dogs. They're not ready to hand it off. And look, I feel like I'm now becoming the old guy, right? Like, because my guys are retiring, so it's cool to see, like, look, we're still holding. It's weird. Like, I'm obviously not as old as you, but like, you're like old. But I'm on the old side now. I'm not on the young side. Like, I'm not coming in with the new group and the new youth and like, hey, like that the rebellious part, right? I'm kind of like, I'm slowing down a little bit, right? I'm getting old. So I'm happy to see that we've got things going on. What's here? CJ Dorsey says Steelers have to find a way to trade for Deshaun Watson. Look, Deshaun Watson, that's another big one. His name was cleared just the other day. So now he's
back in the game.
Yeah, he's a shiny new toy again. Nobody hates him anymore, right? I don't think he's going to have
I don't know about that.
I think that him getting that cleared is going to, some teams are going to jump quickly. Ryan says he said most overrated QB in NFL right now. I think he is overrated, the most overrated. I have other options in there. I think Kyler Murray kind of sits up there. I think Deshaun actually isn't horrible, but I definitely think Deshaun is a little bit overrated. I think if the Steelers would be dumb to go get him, but it's going to be interesting to see where he lands. Where's he going to go?
I mean, look, the Panthers are an option. The Steelers are an option. Gracious. I mean, even Arizona, like we still don't know what they're going to do out there at the quarterback position. I mean, San Francisco, Jimmy G does not seem to be their long-term plan.
Yeah, but they got Trey though. I think they're trying to head down that Trey.
If Jimmy G's out,
CJ Dorsey said
a 1-year contract for Deshaun.
See, he said Mayfield's the most overrated.
A 1-year contract for Deshaun would not be out of the question because Deshaun's going to beg to get back in the league right now. I mean, he's got such a bad rap right now. Yeah.
CJ says Mayfield is
even Minnesota.
No, Case Keenum's out there. Case Keenum's the truth, bro. Is it Case Keenum? No, not Case Keenum. Not Case Keenum. Gosh, bro.
He from Washington.
Who's the quarterback in Minnesota?
Uh,
Golly.
yeah, he came from Washington. They moved him. Oh, what is going on with the Browns?
Oh, Kirk
There's some
Cousins.
Baker
Kirk
Mayfield
Cousins.
not
Kirk
being in
Cousins.
Cleveland.
What? Baker's leaving.
They're already saying.
Did you see
They're
Khalil
already saying
Mack?
it.
Khalil Mack got traded too
Yes.
to the Chargers, and then Amari
My
Cooper
goodness.
went to the Browns too, bro. Dude, this weekend's been crazy.
I took one nap.
One nap, Steve. Maybe you should sleep more. Maybe we do better when you take naps. Good things happen when you take naps. Muddy Water says Falcons trying to convince Matt Ryan to restructure his contract. I'm calling him getting transferred to the Colts. Muddy with the hot take. Look, the guy gets paid too much. I think that's a good move, and I wouldn't hate. I don't know. That'd be him to the Colts wouldn't be a bad move. I think the Colts are in a good position. They just need a veteran guy to come in and control that offense a little bit for them. Look, I think the Colts would be smart to do that. I don't think the Falcons are in a good place right now to see.
Yeah, they need to do something. They're in a very weird spot. You got Matt Ryan, who's basically in a senior facility. You got rid of Freeman. You don't have Julio. That's a team that looks like they're just on the precipice of just giving a full rebuild.
Sure.
So,
and Kirk Cousins just signed an extension.
Good call by Solomon.
Yeah,
good call
Kirk
by
Cousins.
Solomon.
Appreciate the look.
Thank you, Solomon, for making me look at it.
He just signed a 1-year contract to Minnesota. So Deshaun's not going to Minnesota. So where does Deshaun go? Where does he land? The Saints, I think, are going to be a good option for him. You said the Panthers was your other pick?
Yeah.
Panthers, the Colts wouldn't be crazy for him either.
Not now. Well, not now. Yeah,
the Seahawks, we talked about this. The Drew Lock's not their guy.
No. He was part of a meat trade. He was just a flesh transaction.
Yep.
For Denver to get the guy they wanted.
They just threw in some bodies. They're throwing bodies.
Now they're stuck with Drew Lock. But that's not who they want. That's not a bad one. That's not a bad one at all. That's actually maybe a good home for Deshaun.
That actually might be the move. I'm going to call the Colts. That's my pick. The Colts or the Steelers. Those are my. Ryan says I think you should land in prison. So we've got prison, Steelers, or Colts. Those are the three options that we have on the board for this evening for Deshaun Watson to land. So Seattle. Sorry, Seattle. That's who I said. Seattle, Steelers, and prison. Those are my three picks over the Colts. All right, let's move on. We got one last topic on our little Flash Sunday live here. So Selection Sunday was today. Just in case anybody missed the first half, Florida did not make it. They are not in it. But we want to do something. This is going to be a first. We talked about this. We want to make March Madness. Steve and I absolutely love March Madness. Like this is what's funny is little backstory. How this podcast started was when we first started talking about it, really got this thing going was last year during March Madness. I mean, the juices were flowing. We had so many great ideas. I think we got it going we didn't get it going towards the end. We never got it really talk about March Madness. Have been so excited for this. I think tomorrow we're going to go live and do a Selection Monday where we make our picks. So it's going to be where we go through the bracket. We have our own methodology on how we make our picks. All right, so make sure you tune in for that. It's going to be fun. But we want to get you guys involved. All right, we have a pretty awesome family. You guys come on here, give us shit, talk shit. We love it. And everyone has an opinion and thinks they're the smartest guy in the room, and which we love every minute of it. So we want to hold a contest. We're going to give $50 out to the winner. All right, this is coming off High Top's budget here. All right, I'm going to put a link down below where you can join in. It's going to be the High Top Sports Bracket. You have until, obviously, I think Thursday morning, basically, to that first tip-off. I think it's like 12.
Some time, yeah.
Some time. So give us time. It's not up yet. It'll be down in the link some by the end of tonight, and then we'll make a few more videos kind of promoting this. We want as many people in here as possible. Let your family and friends know. Anybody can join. It's free to join. There's no money to put in. It's a free $50. There might be some other Gator merch that we might be able to get. We've got a meeting later this week. We might work something out. There might be a Gator prize that we can also throw into. I'm not sure yet, but for now, it's going to be $50 to the winner. If things change, I'll definitely update you guys. But please join. Fill them brackets out. Muddy says fill them out just on CBS. You get $25,000 just for being the closest right. So that's a plus. And also, too, I think what we should do, Steve, I'm throwing a curveball, Steve, so get ready. I say we have the winner. Unless stuff, then it is what it is. We'll have the winner on. We'll bring the winner on to the show.
Oh, yeah. Why would we not?
Why would we not? You get bragging rights to being the first winner of the High Top Sports March Madness tournament. Who the hell wouldn't want to sign up? It's free. You get $50 and you get to own the bragging rights and be on the show. We'll send you a link. You hop on, say your piece, and get it going. So
yeah, look, these guys have had a forum in the chat for quite a while. I would love to give them a forum on the actual cast, just wide open. Let them say what they want to say. I would love that idea.
So let's go over really quick. I'm not going to go too much into it. Tomorrow is going to be the big day. We've got Arizona, Gonzaga, Baylor, and Kansas. Those are our 1 seeds. Out of those 4, I would probably say Kansas is the weakest 1 seed, if I had to guess. Watch Kansas play. I haven't seen Baylor, Arizona. Gonzaga's always Gonzaga. But look, man, I think there's going to be some upsets. I'm calling it right now. I'm liking New Mexico State over UConn. That's a 12/5. I like that. That one looks very appealing to me. What was the other one? It was Ohio State. They were like a 10.
I can see that one, yeah.
Ohio State, they're 7. Loyola Chicago, with Sister Mary, they're the 10 seed. I'm picking Loyola. There's no way. There's no way I don't pick them. God, it's just so fun, man.
I mean, you have the nun shows up. When the nun shows up, you're done.
It's a wrap. Also, LSU, they fired their head coach yesterday, and they're in the tournament. Now, their coach is obviously coached. He's been a head coach before, but they're playing against Iowa State. They're LSU 6, Iowa State's 11. I see that being a huge upset, but I could also see LSU making a weird run because of it too. I don't know. It's crazy. I think Miami over USC is going to be big. Miami played pretty well. It's going to
see that one.
Muddy says UCLA is winning it all. See, hey, that's why, this is why we're doing the bracket. Ooh. Everybody has an opinion, and I love it. I think, Muddy, this is the first time that we're going to disagree. All right? Look, I love you. You show awesome support, but I completely disagree. I could be wrong. No, so hold on. I take that back. I have a natural, an automatic response to hate for Western teams. Okay, USC, UCLA. Who else can I think of? Who else is out there, Steve? Not Oregon. I like
Gonzaga.
Oregon. Gonzaga.
Yeah,
just
Gonzaga,
I have a natural, like an automatic response. But I forgot UCLA was a tear last year. And remember our pick'em. Remember our strategy. We'll go into that a little bit more tomorrow on how we pick our teams. But the guy with the big fro on UCLA, and we're like, well, how did we not pick those guys? I'm pretty sure they were a Final Four team.
I completely forgot that we went complete hairstyles.
See, Muddy
hairstyles up and down.
Muddy said they're bringing everyone back, and I forgot they were a strong Final Four team. God, he's not wrong. And Final Four experience counts. See, and he's right. He is right. I forgot about that. I had seen, as much as I hate them, let me see who they're going up against. Okay, so they're going against Akron, don't care. St. Mary's probably after that, don't care. I'll pick them over that. North Carolina or Baylor, unless the Baylor boys with the mullets are there, I don't care if they beat any of those guys. So, and they're playing Kentucky. They would play Kentucky in the Elite Eight. So I wouldn't hate it if they made it out of that bracket. There isn't anybody there that I really care for to win. Purdue's there. I can
see in Vatech beating North Carolina to get into
they won it all.
Yeah, I mean the seeding actually looks really strong for the West Coast team was on that bracket
for UCLA.
Yeah,
North Carolina isn't very good this year. Baylor, I don't know if Baylor is the same Baylor as last year. The Baylor team last year was absolutely gross. I don't think they're the same as last year.
Yeah, they're hit or miss. I mean, they're always consistent, but they're consistently inconsistent.
Yeah, Baylor is hurt, and that's what I thought too.
Go from like having a strong center and to a strong like 3-point game, and they'll just
Muddy's gonna win this. Muddy's gonna win this damn pick'ems, and then we're finally gonna get meet Muddy face to face. So I wouldn't be mad about it if Muddy were to win that. So look, I'm excited about it. We're gonna do a whole pick'ems tomorrow. We're gonna have our own. We'll have a high top submission, and then Steve and I will do our own. So you guys will be able to see like in the bracket. It would if high top wins. If Steve, high top, or the three of us win, it'll be whoever finishes beneath us. Just so you guys are aware. Like obviously we don't want to win. We would like but obviously we want to compete because I'm here to talk shit. So regardless, I'm still gonna try to beat y'all because that's what we're here for. But make sure you guys submit that. Thank you for dropping in on this Sunday evening with all this hot news. We appreciate it, guys.
Yeah, appreciate it. Out of nowhere, you guys are the best.
Yep, you guys always.
This is why we come back for you. You guys come back for us. We come back for you. I love it.
We love it. Make sure you guys like and subscribe. We're on the road to 1,000. We broke the 800 mark. We're less than 200 to go. We're almost there. We're super close. Be back tomorrow, guys. We're doing the Selection Monday on High Top Sports, and make sure you guys submit your brackets. We want to know who you're gonna pick. Until next time, I'm Sheldon.
I'm Holly.
Boogity boogity. See ya.